What's up, guys? So, I feel like on Twitter, first of all, the Free Britney movement has clearly elevated itself. It is truly public knowledge at this point, at least for the most part, because I feel like since last year, you definitely kind of people have been getting into it, but they're not really sure what we're talking about, what's really going on. Some people think she's in jail, like they don't really know what the fuck Free Britney means, and they're very lost and they're confused. But I feel like now in this past month with that TikTok going viral and it was very funny to me that all of a sudden she went from people were really hating on her because of her little dancing video, and then it went from hating on her for dancing and being weird, which is so fucking stupid. I was about to come on here and make a video about that because people were really going off on her, and I thought it was so stupid. Like, you're mad that someone's dancing. You're mad that someone likes flowers. Like, you're really angry about this. You're actually angry about this. So besides that, obviously everybody kind of like adjusted themselves and started being Free Britney once that TikTok went out. That was kind of exposing the whole situation, which was amazing and awesome. But you still have the anti-Free Britney people, which pissed me off. I mean, you see it here and there. It's not really that big. But first of all, there are some fans who believe that it's like a conspiracy, which is so fucking stupid. But there was this video on Twitter from this comedian who... Girl, you swear, like, you really swear that you're somebody, but you are absolutely nobody. I don't even know why you popped up on my feed. I guess because she hashtag Free Britney, she thought she was gonna get some views, and she did, but she ended up looking real fucking stupid. So her video, I think, is exemplary of the lack of brains that the people who are anti-Free Britney are, and her video also shows their reasoning. They all have the same reasons, and their reasons make no sense. So we're just gonna watch it real quick. It's only a minute long. And kind of just look at the mentality of the people who are anti-Free Britney, including some of her own fans, which is so ridiculous I can't even take it. So let's see what she has to say for herself. And also, she's so angry in this video. Like, these people are so crazy. Like, I just can't take it.
Honestly, I don't care. You can hate on me all you want. I am over the hashtag Free Britney movement. It's stupid. Here's my question to everybody that believes this.
Okay.
Do you know Britney? Are you an attorney? Do you know her attorneys? Do you know her parents? Do you know her family? Are you a therapist?
Girl, do you know her family? Do you know her attorneys? Are you, what? Like, do you know her therapist? Like, she's giving off this whole list, and that's what they all do. All the anti-Free Britney, it's the same fucking motto. It's the same goddamn talking points. Do you know? You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, but if we don't know what's going on, then you don't know what's going on. So why don't you shut your fucking mouth, because that is not a point that you think that you're making. It's not a point. Like, that is no point. But let's actually go on to, she said, do you know her attorneys? No, I don't know them personally, babe. I don't actually know who they are on a personal level, but all I can do is do a quick Google search, just like, do you know Donald Trump, bitch? I'm sure she's very anti-Trump. Do you know Donald Trump as a personally? No, but you know of him and you know what he does, right? So, do we know her attorneys? Yes. We do know Samuel Ingham the third, whatever the fuck his goddamn name is. Google it up and you will see that he has been a part of multiple conservatorship abuse, accusations. So, of all the conservatorship people that you can get, I mean, how many conservators, attorneys, how many people can you get to get involved in this a huge superstar's conservatorship? I'm sure you have, a pool of people to pick from, and you pick the person who has the shadiest past, someone who has been accused of murdering somebody, you know what I mean? Or not murdering, but being a part of somebody's death, you know what I mean? In correlation to her conservatorship and estate and thievery. So, look him up and you'll see a whole fucking mess. Just like the first judge, actually, do you know the judge? We do know the first judge who was actually suspended from being a judge for 30 years? I don't know exactly what the reason she was suspended for, but pretty much illegal behavior, I'm sure, something that was not acceptable to be doing as a judge. I don't know why she was brought back on, but she was brought back on and allowed to continue law in 2007 after being kicked off in 1987, some bullshit. Doesn't really matter. The dates are not specific. I don't really care. The point is, she was suspended from being a judge. She comes back, and one of the first things she does is get to put Britney Spears in conservatorship. So I don't know what you're talking about, girl. I don't know them personally. No, I don't. But neither do you, and I do not know them personally, but I do see for myself that they have been a part of messy-ass situations, so why the fuck would I trust these people, and why? Also, you know what? Here's another talking point that people love. I don't know if she mentioned this, so let's keep watching. But I do want to touch on it, just in case she doesn't mention it, and then I forget. People love to say, this is a big anti-Free Britney talking point from her fans as well. Why do you think that a judge would put her under this if she wasn't crazy? Or why do you think a doctor, or why do you think an attorney, why do you think these people all agree with each other? Okay, sweetie, why did we not see multiple black people being shot in the street years on years on years on years? Zimmerman, who shot a black boy who was doing nothing. And what happened? Did he go to jail? No. So why don't you ask yourself, why did that judge let him go? Because there's something called injustice, there's something called corruption, there's something called people are dumb as fucking shit. And some people just don't get, sometimes you just don't get justice. I mean, that's the real question. Why are you acting like just because it's a judge and a doctor coinciding together that they're going to make the right decisions? You think that you put money into the situation, that they're not going to just do whatever the fuck they want? Slip some money on the table, girl. Here, oh, judge, you want this $1 million? Okay, so sign off on this. Okay, great. That's what they're gonna do, girl. They don't give a fuck. Have we not seen injustice over and over and over and over again? Like, I don't understand. These same people will be the same people sitting there on Twitter like, Trump should be impeached. I can't believe this. What are they talking about? This is so crazy. That's the same shit with Britney's conservatorship because it's so fucking illegal from the jump. Okay?
We all act like we have any idea about what's going on with her conservatorship. And here's my question to everybody. Have you ever thought to yourself, maybe the conservatorship saved Britney's life? 2009 Britney could not have handled it, okay? And yes, here we are in 2020. The conservatorship does extend. But Britney herself has come out and said she's okay. Also, she
has not.
come
Okay.
out and said she's okay.
First of all, how do I
Also,
pause this
she
fucking
does make
bitch?
decisions with her conservatorship. Check out a business.
Okay. First of all, 2009 girl, Miss Britney was on a tour, so why don't you get your dates straight? That's first of all. She's talking about conservatorship saved her life. Let me explain something. I think that for the first year, the conservatorship was cute. She obviously needed someone to come in and kind of swoop in, and she definitely needed going on the right track. But she needed therapy. She needed life coaching. That's what she needed. What she got from the conservatorship was the complete opposite. What they did was they threw her on the road. They threw her to make an album. You're talking about this saved her life, but you could argue that maybe it imprisoned her. And who the fuck, like, first of all, everybody, including people like her, look at Britney and they always say, oh, after 2007, the energy was taken out of her eyes, the light out of her eyes, and this and that, and she looks lifeless. And most people would agree that it was kind of after the circus era. So, you would argue that it definitely kind of negatively ruined her life, bitch, because during the circus era, she thought she was coming out of the conservatorship. They told her 1 year. All right, so that's why she kind of had that light in her eye. She had that step, pep in her step, and she was kind of rocking about. But once they told her this was permanent, she said, girl, zombified. Because, first of all, they were overdosing her on drugs. Let's get that straight. I mean, whether the intentions were right or wrong, I don't understand why that would have ever been permanent. It just doesn't make sense. Like, it genuinely doesn't make sense. It's just, I can't even take it. Like, nothing that these people... First of all, you're making no points.
Do you know, Britney? Article all about it. And guys, we would all have issues if we were a star since the time we were 8 years old. Most of us, auditioned for Jesus Christ Superstar twice, and then our drama teacher was like, have you thought about computer science? Of course! This girl's been famous forever. Plus, her dad only made $128,000 off her, in 2018. Like any other manager would. What's the point? Why would they be hurting? Honestly, I don't care. You can hate them.
First of all, he's not her manager, so that's first of all. I don't even know why you're bringing up the money. You don't actually know how much money he's making because a lot of this could be under the books. You don't know that's the whole point, really. Like, what the fuck? Are you dumb or stupid? And then second of all, she's talking about, what the fuck she say? Damn, I can't even, keep straight with what she say because she just pissed me off. What's this bitch say?
And guys, we would all have issues if we were stars.
We would all have issues. Okay, I don't understand what your point is. We would all have issues. First of all, everybody has issues. Let's get that straight. But she's acting like what her point is, which I'm trying so hard. It's really hard for me to connect the dots with her points because, like I said, these people talking points, they don't actually make sense. But she's basically saying she has mental issues. She should have mental issues because she's been famous for so long. Okay, so does that mean that you get locked up for the rest of your life and you have no right to an attorney? You have no right to your money. You have no right to hang out with friends without them being, stalked beforehand and FBI checked through the house for drugs or whatever the fuck they think is in the house. First of all, even in interviews, every interviewer that went in an interview with her after 2008 said it was the fucking weirdest thing ever because they weren't even allowed to talk to her really. Like if you look at her in the eye, they would get pissed and like made her feel really uncomfortable, and she was clearly anxiety ridden and constantly looking at her team because they were fucking beyond overprotective. So point is, she has no rights to do anything. She has no freedom, girl. What does that have to do with you being maybe, not as mentally healthy as you can be because you've been famous for so long? What the right thing would do is to go through therapy, go through coaching, and the best way to go through any life problems, girl, people go through not just, okay, fame is obviously a whole other thing, but people go through a lot of childhood trauma like rape, uh, kidnapping, there's so many things that you can go through as a child that people go through, and they don't get put in a conservatorship later on in their life because they kind of went off the handle for a little bit in their mid-20s. Girl, what'd she do? She cut her hair, okay? And a lot of people cut their hair. What did she really do that was really that crazy? She cut her hair. She went to the clubs. Bitch, we all cut our hair and go to the clubs. Like, what was really truly that crazy that she was doing? Really, was she okay? No, I don't think she was okay, but do I think she just needed a friend, a therapist, and like some people that really cared for her? That's it. She just needed some inspiration in her life because she's been controlled for so long. So what do you do after she's been controlled for so long and rebellious? You put her in a conservatorship and control her for the rest of her life. Perfect. I love that story. It just makes so much sense to me. It's amazing. So beyond the fact that she has no rights, let's just rewind back to the fact that their most favorite thing, like I said, is that would they put her under this if it wasn't real? Like I said, I already mentioned the fact that there's obviously injustice at all times, all the time, so that's not really a point that you're making. But let's look at the fact that they got her into the conservatorship by writing down that she has dementia. Babe, I'm so sorry, that's a lie. She clearly doesn't have dementia. If she had dementia, what is dementia to you? First of all, 99% of people who have dementia are 65, not even, 80, 90, you're severely old, you're very elderly. To be in your 20s and have dementia is extremely beyond rare, and you'd probably be dead in your 30s because at that point your brain is deteriorating. Like, what is going on? That is not even possible. She would, that genuinely, it doesn't make any sense. But okay, let's run along with the dementia. Let's say she has dementia because that's what they wrote down. So if she has dementia, she should have severe memory problems, as in a dementia patient would not be going on a world tour, singing songs, mouthing words to the song, you know what I mean? But she wouldn't know the words to the song. She would forget the words. She would not know these dance moves. She would not know these intricate dance moves. Why would you put a dementia patient on a stage and she wouldn't know the dance moves? All of a sudden, she knows everything. She knows how to go on an interview and talk and speak words and not be like, where am I? First of all, that's the most important part. That's a big part of dementia, is that in the middle of any moment you could be like, bitch, what's going on? Where am I? I don't know. Who are you? I don't know what's going on. That's a big symptom of dementia. This literally memory loss, huge memory loss. Not just girl, what's the date? I totally forgot. Is it Tuesday and Wednesday? It's not something so common like that. It's a very huge problem. So, but they have her sitting on top of a tree. First of all, in Vegas, she's standing on top of a tree and they bungee jump, and she's bungee jumping off into a ring of fire. Do you think that a dementia patient, would you put an 85-year-old dementia patient on top of a tree and expect her to know how to put the bungee jump on and jump off and then come? What if she really had dementia, wouldn't that be a big risk? That maybe she would possibly be like, where the fuck am I? And then just jump off. And let's just say it wasn't dementia, even though that's what they wrote. And if it isn't dementia, then this whole conservatorship is legal from the jump off. You cannot make up an illness and just write whatever the fuck you want to get someone into something. That's called illegal, babe. That's illegal. She does not have dementia. She clearly does not have dementia. And the best thing is that people will always be like, well, you don't know that. The doctor signed off on it. Like I said, first of all, corruption and injustice is a real thing, and it's constantly going on in America if you haven't seen it yet. I don't know what world you're living in or what rock you're living under. That is a real thing. So, bitch, I totally forgot. See, this is some dementia, bitch. Are you gonna put me under conservatorship? Because I just totally lost my whole train of thought, girl. But the whole point is, she had dementia, which she clearly doesn't, so therefore it's illegal. let's say they say, oh, it must be some mental illness that you guys just don't know. She must be so severely ill that we don't know about it, and we will never know about it. And that's why they keep her under it, because she's just so severely ill. Okay, well, if she's so severely ill, then first, again, why would she be on major world tours? I mean, that's the only question I have. I can't even go into a whole, you could really give a whole list of things, but please answer me that question. If someone is so severely ill that no one seems to know what the psychological illness is, only Britney Spears is the only one person on the entire planet Earth, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. She is the only person who has some type of illness that no one has ever heard of, no one has ever studied. She seems to have the only illness, but yet she can go and dance galore, travel the world, do things. That is very taxing on the body. It's not like she's doing a grocery store, clerk. She's not putting the food on the, on the stall, on the stands. She's running businesses. She's touring the world. She's doing 2-hour dance and dangerous things where she's in rings of fires. She's bungee jumping. She's straddling guys in the middle of the air blindfolded. Does that sound like someone who's so severely ill? And then they say things like, oh, well, maybe she just doesn't know how to, she's just so stupid, like maybe she can do physical things, but she's, mentally handicapped or some, which again, doesn't make a correlation. You wouldn't be able to do the things that she does and still be that handicapped. But let's say that somehow she can physically do all those things, but she's just so stupid that she doesn't know how to really handle life. Babe, she does live interviews. She does interviews. And she talks like a normal human being. She is socially awkward sometimes, yes, but that does not mean she's mentally disabled. So, it's just none of the talking points really make sense. At the end of the day, a conservatorship is for someone who cannot provide shelter or food or clothe themselves. Can she do those things? Absolutely. So therefore, she should not be in a conservatorship. That's really point blank, end of the story. There's no other explanation that you can give me. I feel like I've hit really their main points, which is always, why would the doctor sign off on it? Because it's illegal, bitch, and it's unjust. That's why they signed off on it. Also, why would they sign off on it? And obviously a doctor signed off on it, so why don't we talk to this doctor and ask him, bitch, why are you telling me she has dementia, but she's on a world tour, and you're allowing a dementia patient to do this? Babe, I have a psychology degree. I will let you know that I have never heard of a dementia patient going on a world tour. Bitch, I've never even heard of a dementia patient being allowed outside of their nursing home without a guardian next to them. But you're telling me that someone could jump off a fucking tree, a 90-foot tree, in the middle of a Vegas show? Make it make sense. Into a ring of fire? You're telling me that? Does that make sense to you? Does it make sense to you? She's so severely ill, but she can do all that. It just don't make no sense. You guys don't make any sense. The people who are anti-Free Britney don't make any sense. They keep saying, oh, but it saved her life. Okay, that's great. It saved her life in 2008, so now let's move on. Because I'm so glad that she got on the right track. So what the fuck happened after? This is illegal. It is illegal, point blank, because she does not have dementia. She does not have dementia, babe. There's something, and they keep saying, well, there's something, we don't know. We don't know her attorneys. We don't know. We don't actually know what's going on. We will never know what's going on. That's so true. But there's also something called circumstantial evidence, which is everything that I just said. Circumstantial evidence means you're looking at you're making an observation that clearly the evidence does not correlate to whatever the fuck you're talking about. So you can keep telling me she has dementia, which obviously is a lie. You could tell me she has something so severely ill that we will never know and we will never understand. I don't know what it could possibly be besides depression and anxiety, which is probably further enhanced through a conservatorship where you have no rights and you're treated like you're a child. It just makes us like. Also, on top of that, Lou Taylor actually tried to make Lindsay Lohan into a conservatorship, and Lindsay Lohan's mom said, no thanks, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want my daughter to be a part of a conservatorship. Now let's just pretend that she did go a part of a conservatorship. First of all, look at how Lou Taylor does it. She looks at it as a business venture. Look at this girl who was a big star. She's not in her right frame of mind. Let's just throw her under restraints, something that goes against her First Amendment, or any amendment really, because this goes against life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, bitch, and the freedom. It totally does. Actually, that's why it's so hard to get people into conservatorships, because you have to really prove that they can't do anything for themselves, which is why they tend to be like 95 years old and severely like Alzheimer, like they will walk out the door and not know where the fuck they are. Because it restricts your entire freedoms. You don't have the right to your own attorneys. That's literally against the whole American ideal. And, you know, the Declaration of Independence, bitch. So Miss Lindsay Lohan. Now imagine Lindsay Lohan was put in a conservatorship back in the day. Now what? She would have no right. Look at how she grew by herself. That's what you do as a human being. You have to learn and you have to jump through the hoops and you have to have people who support you, not control you, but support you. Go through therapy, go to rehab if that's your thing, because her thing was more so drug addiction, which again, she didn't have mental disorders. So what would Lou Taylor have written? Drug addiction? You can't put someone under a conservatorship for a drug addiction. So $1 million, those bitches would have put dementia or some bullshit to put her under that thing and to get all her money to make her into a working machine. And what would she be doing right now? Be exhausted and want to kill herself from being put under the restraints of a conservatorship, which is just beyond the craziness. So, and you know, and she fortunately did not get away with that. Miss Lou Taylor, she did not. But she really tried it, and that tells you a lot, because a conservatorship is so rare to get into, and the fact that she was kind of just picking on girls like, oh, you can get a conservatorship. You too? You don't want any rights, right? Can you make this movie for us, though? Oh, well, I'm not really asking you. You have to make this movie, babe. You want to go on tour? You don't want to? That's okay. You're going on a tour, because I'm picking your attorney. You don't have a right to an attorney. And that's it. And you have dementia, girl. So we're telling everybody that you're crazy. You know, that's what would have happened. And look at Lindsay. Look at Lindsay. You know, safe, sober, happy, healthy, doing what she does, working with the refugees or whatever she's doing. You know, and she's having a good life. She lived and she learned and she grew by herself. They did not give Britney the chance to do that. And everyone deserves that chance. So if that also isn't a clear evidence that they are just used this as a business model to try to lock up people's rights and just make them work, giving me MGM 1950s vibes, Judy Garland, then I don't know what to tell you. And if you think that that's the one thing, that's it. Dementia was clearly a lie. That is a lie. She does not have dementia, clearly, 100% obviously. Any doctor would tell you that that's not being paid under the table to sign off on that, would tell you that she clearly does not have dementia, which means that she was put under this conservatorship illegally, which means that this needs to be null and voided immediately now, because if she has dementia, she would not be doing anything that she's doing. So that's the end of the story. No other points need to be made, Your Honor. I'm sorry. It was put in illegally, and it will be ended now. Thank you. So, to any of you anti-Free Britney people, you know, come to my video, write in the comments if you got some bullshit to say, because I will clearly drag you. Nothing you can say could really change anybody's mind, because you're stupid. Just like this bitch, this little comedian who really thought she did something. Wait, you don't know her, you don't know these people, you don't know them either, girl. You don't know them. Do a little bit of research. Just look up the fact that she has dementia, apparently. And you tell me, does that make sense to you? And if it makes sense to you, then I need you to open a book. A psychology book, babe. Psychological book. Textbook. Look up dementia. YouTube dementia patients. And tell me, does that look like a dementia patient to you? Also, they barely even put dementia patients on their conservatorship. You have to have like Alzheimer. Like, you have to really be truly falling apart at the seams. You have to barely have any functioning of your arms and your hands and your brain to be able to be on their conservatorship in any other situation. So why is it that Britney Spears was put under one at all, and why she's still under one? It's a great question. I would love Judge Brenda Penny to answer that question with, you know, logical sense. Can she do it? Probably not. She can't because it's illegal. So, thanks for watching, guys. Y'all comment below what you guys think. I just can't. Like, I'm just not in the mood. I can't. People are so stupid. Peace out.